This is going to be Hosea chapter 9, verse 13. Ephraim, as I saw Tyrus, is planted in a pleasant place, but Ephraim shall bring forth his children to the murderer. Now, who is Ephraim? Well, Ephraim is none other than Israel. And you'll find that information out in Genesis chapter 48-49. The name Israel has been put atop Ephraim's head by none other than Israel himself, Jacob. So if Ephraim is Israel, and more importantly, the leader of the northern kingdom of Israel, well, that just so happens to be all of the tribes that are supposedly lost. These lost tribes of Israel. Have you ever heard about that? Well, Ephraim is a part of these lost tribes, as is Dan, as is Manasseh. Well, it just so happens that our country, the United Kingdom, and for that matter, various countries around the globe, consider themselves to be descendants of these lost tribes of Israel. So if we could entertain the thought that there's evidence, and there's plenty of it, that our country considers itself to be connected biblically to this Ephraim Israel, well, then it doesn't seem too far of a stretch to imagine that they're running this biblical program of judgment. Now, I'm not trying to convince anybody, but I'm just trying to offer once again some information and another perspective. And you can look at it further in a series I did entitled Ephraim and Manasseh. I've got some other stuff on the playlist. So if we see this Ephraim, this Israel, and then possibly our country is connected to the symbolism of Ephraim, and the plan is to bring their children, their population, their own people, to this murderer. And then of course we know that there's this judgment time, there's this sacrifice, and all this stuff is really coming to a head right here. So I don't think it's too far of a stretch considering what we're seeing basically in the world around us. So this Ephraim is trying to bring forth his children to the murderer. Well, we're talking about a sacrifice. So that's going to make sense with these code words. So right now we're going to look at salt as it's related to sacrifice, Ezekiel 43, verse 24, and it's even going to be connected as a burnt offering, and we know that that's what this judgment is, and we also know that that was the popular method of sacrificing their children was in the fire. And thou shalt offer them before the Lord, and the priests shall cast salt upon them, and they shall offer them up for a burnt offering unto the Lord. Now, notice we get this 7 days symbolism here, and of course that connects with everything that I told you, that this judgment is set on a 7 cyclic system. Let's go to the next one. This is going to be very interesting. And we heard a lot of stuff go down about these supposed salt mines or salt domes, salt pit, or whatever you want to talk about. We'll go ahead and listen to this. This is going to be Zephaniah 2, verse 9. And the words to keep in mind are judgment and desolation. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, surely Moab shall be as Sodom, and the children of Ammon as Gomorrah, even the breeding of nettles and salt pits, and a perpetual desolation. The residue of my people shall spoil them, and the remnant of my people shall possess them. Now the residue of my people, is that the scattered tribes of Israel? And the remnant of my people, is that not the scattered lost tribes of Israel is going to spoil them? And then we got salt pits? I mean, is that not incredible? Think about that. Now, I could explain further and I could break this Moab and all of this stuff back down, but I'm not trying to get into that. I'm just trying to show you that there's something here. Now, we want to see that this is connected to this judgment. Now, what have I been talking about? This judgment is timed with world ages, and of course this world age symbolism of this coming dawning, this light, this morning. Listen closely. The just Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame.